Hey guys, Brickset here, and Merry Christmas! I'm recording this ahead of time, but it is Christmas right now. What I'm going to do for the special Christmas video is go through all 5 of the Christmas Carol Stave scenes that I've made. So this is Stave 1. This is the scene when Scrooge first meets Jacob Marley. So we have Jacob Marley in there, and Scrooge in his bed, and it's Scrooge's little room. I tried to sort of remix elements from the official set in all of these builds to sort of give them all some level of cohesion. So you'll see like this lamppost and this tree and sort of this pathway show up a lot, as well as the floor inside is very similar. But yeah, on this particular build, I made a whole video about it, so you can check that out if you want to see this in more detail or anything about the process. But let's move on to Stave 2. I have just learned it's pronounced Stave, so I will be saying that from now on. So this is Stave 2, the Ghost of Christmas Past, and this is the scene where Belle releases young Scrooge and she breaks up with him. The build for this one is really simple. There's a bench and then some elements that were sort of recycled from the original build, but the minifigures were especially tricky. So young Scrooge, I'm using a Flitwick torso and Cornelius Fudge's head, and then Flitwick's hair, and I put mid-legs on him so he was a little taller than Flitwick, but I kept the sort of back tail piece there, just because I thought it really worked, and I have him with a ring. This piece comes in a lot of sets, so it's pretty common. For Belle, I'm using more Harry Potter pieces, so her torso and her dress is Hermione's Yule Ball outfit, both in the Advent calendar from this year and the Hogwarts Clock Tower. This is Luna's face from the her Series 2 appearance, and then this is Hermione's year 3, year 4 hair. So not her Yule Ball hair, but just a different hair, because I wanted to try to make her not look exactly like Yule Ball Hermione, because so much of the figure was. But I think it works really well because it's a similar, I don't know, Belle just to me is in a pink dress, so it works really well. Then Scrooge is Scrooge, like you saw before, but he has a top hat on because he put it on before he left, and now when he's looking at the scenes with the ghosts, he has a top hat on. And then his legs are from the Sleepyhead from Series 6, because they kind of just match the torso, but they aren't white, so they don't blend in with the ground, so he can still stick out and not have white legs, which I like. And then the Ghost of Christmas Past. This one was hard. I want to make my ghosts not be skin toned or yellow, so I'm very limited in the number of pieces, and I'm just in a Harry Potter phase, so I decided to go with Moaning Myrtle. The problem with Myrtle is that her 2 faces work great for Myrtle. She has one where she's very sad, then one where she's angry. So I went with the sad face because I guess it is kind of a sad scene with Belle and Scrooge breaking up, but I don't want her to be like crying, because obviously she kind of knows what's going to happen. So I tried to sort of cover up the tear by just tilting her hair a little bit, and yeah, I don't know how well it works. And then this torso is a Dumbledore torso, and skirt, and then Myrtle's hands, just so the color was consistent. But yeah, here is this scene on to Stave 3. So here we have Stave 3, the Ghost of Christmas Present, and this is pretty much the stock set, being the Cratchit's house, though I did actually modify it so the door could open, and I did that because I wanted Scrooge and the Ghost of Christmas Present to be sort of standing outside of the scene indoors, so I wanted the door to be like swung open, so I modified that to allow that to happen. Basically, it was just taking out pieces here so that this is just a pillar, and this is likely why the door doesn't open in the actual set, is because this is super flimsy, but for my purposes here, I can do that. So I'm using the same Scrooge in the Bob Cratchit and Tiny Tim figures as before, but then here we have a custom one. This is Peter, who's another one of the Cratchit boys, and I gave him mid-legs, a Flitwick torso, and Seamus Finnegan's hair and head. And he's just in there as well. And then the Ghost of Christmas Present. So this is a combination of the Spectre from series 14 as well as Hagrid from the new stuff. And yeah, I wanted to give all the ghosts very distinctive looks, so I went with sort of Hagrid just for the big body, but then I covered it up with this cloth piece that came from the Spectre, and I think it works really, really well. The face is also from that same minifigure, and then I gave him white arms, and I changed his pants to be black instead of brown just to kind of differentiate him a little more from Hagrid, but I'm actually really happy with how this one turned out. I think it's the cloth piece that makes it really just not look like Hagrid, and I'm really happy with that. Here we have Stave 4, and this is the last of the spirits, the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come, and let's take a look at this minifigure for starters. So yeah, it's basically an all black torso, and then this bottom piece is from the Harry Potter Dementors. Then these wings are a custom build using some Chima pieces and a bunch of bar pieces to get them sort of to be angled like that. And I'm really happy with how this turned out. I love having the massive wings that sort of close off the whole scene. This one looks really good and I really like it. Then we have Scrooge here looking at his gravestone. So this is sort of the climactic scene where he realizes that he needs to change his ways, and I really like how I was able to get this to tilt a little bit. You can sort of see some of the pieces used there. I have a whole video on the building of this particular scene as well, so go check that out. But yeah, it's a pretty simple one, but I think it's super effective, and the gravestone is very kind of isolated over here, so it draws your attention, and I really like that. So this is Stave 5, the end of it all, and again, this is basically the set stock pretty much, although there's a few minor tweaks. And again, we have Peter here, who's a custom minifigure, same as in Stave 3. And I also added this other character here. This is the boy that Scrooge calls down to and asks him to go buy the prize turkey to deliver to the Cratchit's house. And in the book, I know that Scrooge doesn't actually go to the Cratchit's house on Christmas Day, although in some retellings he does, and he delivers the turkey. And I don't know, I kind of like that version better. I don't know, I feel like he should show up at their house with the turkey. So that's sort of what I have here, is the boy delivering the turkey, and Scrooge is also there. And yeah, lastly, here's a look at all of the minifigures together. So Scrooge, Marley, the Cratchits, Bob Cratchit, Peter, and Tiny Tim, the three ghosts, past, present, future, and then young Scrooge, Belle, and then the turkey boy. So I'm really happy with how this project turned out. I've never really done anything like this, but I'm really glad that I was able to pull off a lot of really cool things, I think. And again, if you're watching this when it comes out, Merry Christmas to you. I hope you have a good end of your year. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this and you're new, be sure to slap that like button, subscribe, comment down below, let me know what you think of this MOC, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.